Welcome to my 16-month update of recovering from Ramsay Hunt Syndrome. If for some reason you're new to my videos, I've been documenting my journey. There are many other videos where I go through what I've been experiencing. In this update, I'm going to talk a little bit about a first-time Botox. I'm going to talk about the state of my facial paralysis, Synkinesis, and the challenge of trying to exercise more. It is July of 2026. I want to give a quick plug for the Ramsay Hunt Foundation Face Forward Patient Support Summit. This is in September 19th, 2026 in North Carolina. I don't know how it's going to be. It's their first event. I'm planning on going, see if I can learn about how to further my recovery. There's a link in the description if you're interested. Maybe I'll see some of you there. All right. I finally got my first Botox treatment. I had to wait a while for insurance to approve. Essentially, I got injections around the eye, and I think I got one or two around the mouth, but they were mostly around the eye. The idea in talking to my doctor about the Botox was Botox is a paralysis. Perhaps it would help settle down some of the synkinesis, maybe allow some of the weaker muscles to catch up to the stronger muscles. It was slightly painful, especially the injections around the eye. Never thought I'd be getting Botox. That's just not my jive. But I am definitely interested in using it as a tool for recovery. It's been a few weeks since I got it. To be honest, I'm not sure what the impact is. I do feel like the Synkinesis is a little bit better. On the facial paralysis though, my face was starting to go backwards in some ways, and I don't know if the Botox has made it worse. My eye closure is a little bit worse than it was. I'll give you a view. I haven't done this in my previous videos, but you can see that there is a slight opening. I really haven't had that for many months. I'm not sure that this was caused by the Botox, but it probably was. I do feel like my eye closure was getting worse over the last couple months. I can get it full closed with the manual, and I can blink the eye, but I don't feel like it's fully closing. There's also a slight droop. If you look here, I still have the eyebrow that is got a slight upturn. And if you go here versus here, you can see that the eye is turned up. This muscle still is not moving. We'll see this when I do some palsy check. I do feel like my synkinesis got a little bit better. The paralysis does seem to be a little bit worse post-Botox. I do feel like my mouth is a little bit more just not moving as well. Jury is out on the Botox. I do feel like I was having some of these issues before the Botox, but they might be a little bit worse. So let's do a palsy check right now and see how the movement is. So let's start with raising the eyebrow. So here's the good eye. Still not getting much movement there. I haven't blinked the eyes. I just showed you the eye blink, but here's a blink. Here's a close and a tight close. I'm gonna raise my nostril. Can't really do it on the paralyzed side. Whistle. Still bad. Smile. Now, my facial therapist has had me do some things. She's had me try and do a frowny face. And after that exercise, try and smile. And we did feel like there's a little bit of improvement there. We're also doing some things for the eye closure is to close the eyes, pull down the eyelids to kind of force the muscles to resist and then release to see if they'll come back into place. So that's what we're doing. We're taking a little bit step back with the therapy. It was a little bit more aggressive before, and now we're doing it a little bit more low key. With the Synkinesis, I still experience quite a bit of tearing, particularly when I'm eating. I have experienced some irritation right here. It looks a little bit better than it has. There's also a little bit of a droop I didn't notice before. Like right here, there's a droop. I don't know how much of that is the Botox or just the evolution of the muscles and the nerves. I do feel like it's better. There's less unwanted movement, which was good. And that can be helpful for retraining the muscle, because what I was finding is like I'd lift the eyelid and this would move, or move the eye and the lip would move. That has reduced post-Botox. The other thing I've done this last month is really start to increase my exercise, probably more than ever since I got sick with Ramsay Hunt or with shingles. And by increase, it's very slow. Like, this is still a fraction of what a baseline week would be for me before. I've always been into endurance sports. In the past, I would rarely run less than 10 miles a week. I'm up to 6.5. I've been building very slowly. It's taken a while. I've had some setbacks. I'm feeling okay. The biggest thing I'm finding is I'm building slowly, partly due to age and just knowing from past experiences coming back from extended times off from either surgeries or injuries that I need to ramp slowly to avoid injuries. But also I'm ramping slowly just because there's a baseline fatigue that I feel has never quite gotten better since I got the shingles. I'm able to do a lot. I'm able to work a full day, but I'm just a lot more tired. I definitely need a lot of rest. When I don't get a full night's rest, I feel it more than I would in the past. So I'm trying to focus on my fitness because, one, it's something I enjoy. Two, I enjoy the effects of it, both mental and physical. And three, I'm hoping it helps overall with recovery. One of my thoughts for this month comes from the book of John, where Jesus said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid." I may have shared this thought before, but I was thinking, what is something that I'm feeling right now? And throughout this experience, I have experienced a tremendous amount of peace despite a lot of turmoil. And why is that? What is it about peace, and how much of it is what I'm doing versus maybe what I feel is just a blessing? I am finding as I pursue a spiritual connection, I feel peace. And that's been really helpful because I just feel like it'd be really easy to be weighed down. One of the things I forgot to talk about is my hearing. I'm still experiencing full hearing loss. I did a hearing test and I don't really feel like I've had much improvement. And by hearing test, I'm saying a hearing test on my phone, not an actual go to an audiologist. Still have very loud tinnitus in the ear. These things could really drag down my peace if I let them. And I just feel blessed and fortunate. I have tried to seek peace and to be at peace with the situation I am at. And I do feel when you reach out to your higher power, whatever that is, there is the ability to find peace. For me, it is the grace of a Heavenly Father, Jesus Christ. And that is, I feel like, one of the greatest things I've experienced through this. The fact that I've experienced peace despite the turmoil of illness and everything else that goes on in life. Well, that's it for this month. A fairly short update. Next month should be a little bit more interesting. I've got some tests that I'm going to be needed to take in preparation for a visit with my ear, nose, throat doctor, where we'll probably talk about the hearing loss and what to do next. See you on the next video.